What's up, everyone? Welcome to Love Paddle. My name is Alon Bar and I'm going to be your host. Today I'm here with young player. Exciting to be with this player. Welcome to Juan Rocha.
Thank you so much, man.
All the way from Colombia.
Yeah,
Live in the States for how long?
4 years now.
Playing paddle for how long?
More than a year.
All right, so it's a young player, young in the paddle industry, but holding rackets for a long time.
Yeah.
I saw you playing on the court and I say, this guy is going to be a big thing one day. I want to get in touch with him and I want to interview him before everyone else is going to get your schedule booked with interviews and flying different places.
Hopefully one day. Hopefully.
So I called you up and I say, welcome and please come to join me in this show. And you were so willing to, so I appreciate it. You've been playing paddle for only a year. And I remember when I spoke with you, you said that what got you into paddle, it's you discovered that your play is very much more fit paddle rather than tennis.
Exactly, yeah.
How do you explain that?
So basically, I was like a tennis player since I was 4. I played tennis my whole life. But 2 years ago, I started feeling like more engaged into paddle, like showing on YouTube, those highlights. And my play style was basically for paddle.
What do you mean by my play style is for paddle? What is different than your play style in tennis that is more fit to paddle?
Yeah, in tennis I was like a player that make a lot of serve and volley, have those precision always. That got me into paddle.
And how did you adapt it to the glass and like to playing inside of the court? Which,
Yeah.
like, was more natural for you?
Yeah, I got it in 3 months. Was like kind of easy for me to get engaged.
So you want to say it felt natural from the
Exactly,
get-go.
yeah. Too naturally for me.
What do you feel like is the difference between tennis and paddle? For someone that usually play tennis, because we have the community of tennis players, it's huge. People
Yeah.
around the world playing tennis for a long time. And many of them, through the YouTube, through the Instagram Reels, just see the excitement, see the running out of the court and
Yeah.
keeping the game going, and that's getting to move into paddle. But what's the differences between the two?
I would say the court that is smaller in paddle, and also the glasses. So it's like a different variety of shots that you start making, because in tennis you have the forehand, the backhand, the volley, and the smash. And on paddle you have 3 more, 4 more, the bandeja, the vibora, the portree. Like, it's like a lot more.
What is your favorite shot, would you say?
I would say the vibora.
The viewer.
Yeah.
So you're running fast on the court. I saw you on the court. You're very fast. You consider yourself faster than others?
I would say yeah.
Because I see you cover the entire court and you're running to your position and you're going back to cover on your partner
yeah.
whenever is needed. So when you play tennis, do you play 1v1 or 2v2?
Both.
Both of them. What did you like more?
I would say doubles.
Doubles?
Yeah.
And how do you feel that in paddle we must play double?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, it's...
So for me, it was like have a good chemistry with someone that is tough, because I started like on my beginning, finding someone to play was hard. So the chemistry with someone, it's so useful in the court.
It seems like you looked at my message before. My question is, what is the hardest part of moving from tennis to paddle? Would you say it's the chemistry with the partners?
I would say, yeah, that will be like one of them.
What is other things that are hard there in paddle rather than tennis?
No, yeah, I think mainly the teammate. Mainly the teammate.
I can definitely relate, because you can lose a match if your teammate is not vibing with you on the same
Exactly,
vibe,
yeah.
and if he's not covering you whenever you need it, you can definitely lose the match.
And if you go in different directions, you lose the match like in 1 hour.
How do you see the communication in paddle more important than the communication in tennis?
There is another change, yeah. On paddle, you need to communicate as an obligation, because in tennis, you don't do it. Because if you talk like in the point, it's not valid. So on paddle, it's like a must to do it on the court, so you can get the feedback in the point with your teammate.
At what point did you realize that you want to actually move to paddle and put tennis aside?
It was on summer 2 years ago. I was training on tennis fully, but then I had a stop because of the raining. So I was looking videos on YouTube about paddle, and also on the academy that I was on tennis, they were building paddle courts. So I was like seeing the process of the making, and then I got that fire of I want to switch.
When you played tennis, did you thought about going to competitions and become super professional in tennis, or it happened to you only after you moved to paddle?
Into paddle, because in tennis I never was like with that mindset of become professional. I was going to get a scholarship, but I didn't get it because of my results. I was training every day, but I didn't get the results on the weekends. So I was like going forward, backwards. So then on paddle, and I really want to become more serious about it. Not to get a scholarship, but then to go professional.
Are there any scholarship for paddle players right now? Any universities that will give you scholars for paddle?
Right now, I don't think so, but they are gonna do it. I will say in 2 years, a year and a half maybe. But yeah, they're gonna do it for sure.
Do you know what university is like leading the way?
I think it's UCF. There are like 5 on Florida,
Okay.
but right now there are like 10 that they got into paddle,
Okay,
but they're like all in the US.
that's good. So
Yeah.
once it's going to become a thing, would you consider to go back to school and take the scholarship and compete for college?
I don't think so. I'm going to college, but I'm gonna do it virtually. So I engage like fully into professional paddle here and worldwide.
What do you do to become better paddle players right now? What is the possibility and the things that are available outside for players that want to become competitive? What is their options?
Right now, like in the US, for me, it's hard because they have only clubs. They don't have that mindset of build an academy.
Okay.
Because if you make like a comparison in Spain or Argentina, they already have the clubs, but inside the clubs, they have the academy setting. So here in the US, there are like only clubs for playing, not a lot of academy stuff.
When Tapia started playing, he started playing very young paddle.
Yeah.
And at some point he say, if I want to get to the next level, I have to go to Spain and study in Spain. Do you see yourself traveling and moving to a different state right now, a different country,
Of
in order
course,
to
yeah.
study paddle better?
Yeah, of course.
What is on your list? Spain,
Spain,
Argentina?
Spain, Argentina, and I would say also Colombia.
Or is it paddle popular in Colombia right now?
Yeah, because there are some Argentinians
Okay.
that then went there as coaches, so they are training some people there.
Right on. So you're definitely thinking about going back home and become better paddle player. Would you think about representing your country in your national team?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah?
That's one of my goals, like long-term goals, one of them.
Okay, so I would like to hear your short-term goals and your long-term goals in the paddle.
Okay, so right now my short-term goals will be become into the top 100 of the US. Right now I'm like 200,
Okay.
but my short-term right now, like here in 6 months probably, to be in the top 100. And in the long term, hopefully be in the Colombian national team
Okay.
and play a World Cup.
Right on. So
Yeah.
the World Cup representing Colombia
Yeah.
and hopefully win and taking it and bring the trophy home.
Hopefully, yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that the challenges right now in paddle, like the challenges around paddle community, is it growing fast enough? Is it not have enough coaches? Is not academy as you mentioned? So what are the challenges that paddle is facing based on your perspective?
In the US, it's growing fast, and they are taking like the advantage of bringing coaches, but they don't use full advantage of it. They bring coaches, but only for private classes to get more income. So they are growing, but not in a faster way than Europe, I would say.
You took the I-95 Academy. I
Yeah.
saw you downstairs wearing the uniform. I took the Academy as well for the lower level, but you went with the advanced level.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good to have a methodology of an academy, and it was good. But also personally, the times they only have the option of come 2 days a week, and that's it. So in Europe, the academy they made it like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Same as tennis, because I was in a tennis academy, so I trained 15 hours a week. So that transition into a academy, it was rough.
What is your favorite brand that you like to play with?
I play with a lot of brands,
Yeah.
but right now I got a sponsorship with Padel,
All right.
so it's an amazing brand.
Yeah.
They have like products so like with that touch of personality, I would say, and so high materials. Principally,
Did you try the new rackets that just arriving, like the next generation 2026?
I saw them, but they're gonna come on June of this year.
Which paddle do you play of Palop right now?
Right now, the Power Velocity Pro.
The blue one.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like the hardest one,
Yeah.
but I really like it.
Yeah?
It's so light, it's so fast, and it's with that rough surface.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So do you believe that you're gonna stay with Palop for a little while and grow with them?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with them like 1 year, and hopefully be more years.
So did you sign up with them for 1 year right now?
Yeah,
And you got the entire clothing
yeah,
brand?
everything. The clothing is
your band?
nice. The
Yeah.
T-shirts. They're gonna bring hats on their way.
What do you think that helped you the most with your experience from tennis that you move into paddle?
I think mainly the discipline. Because on tennis, I told you before, I was like in academy environment. So that discipline of training every day, no matter what, it was like mainly focused to me into paddle. Because I can play matches, I can train a little bit, but the consistency is every day.
So how many times a week do you practice right now paddle?
Right now, 3 days a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
And do you think that 3 days a week it's enough to become a top level in this country?
Right now, no. I need to be as minimum 5 days.
And is that in the horizon? Do you plan on moving into 5 days training?
Yeah.
How are you going to achieve that?
I'm gonna make a training schedule of training with a coach Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and I'm gonna train by myself Mondays and Wednesdays.
Is the coaches that you are practicing with trying to take away some of your tennis habits that are not good for paddle? You find that?
No, it was like so easily for me to make that transition of to implement like the new shots
Yeah.
that there are not in tennis. So for me, it was easy to implement it.
So there is no hard part of moving from tennis to paddle for you. You say it actually was easier.
Yeah, it
from
was
tennis
easy
to
for
paddle.
me. Yeah.
That's amazing. What other things would you like to see happening in the community of paddle around you in the next year or so?
I would say see more players with that competitive mentality, that they want to really build a community of academy of going forward and be like playing matches, make our own tournaments.
Do you see yourself becoming a trainer yourself, a coach?
I would like to, but in the future.
In the
like
future.
like a long-term goal.
So right now, just to keep studying, becoming better,
Yeah.
reach your top 100, represent your country.
Exactly.
And then when you get older, then it's maybe the time to stop doing competitive, stop running after it. And
Exactly. Because right now, one of my goals, like long-term goals, is to make like my own academy
okay,
of sports,
okay,
like all racket sports,
okay.
if I can. But yeah, to build that mentality of discipline, be responsible, came on time. If you really want to improve, keep training, playing, like everything on that environment.
Would you want to have young people, young kids moving into this academy, or do you see yourself doing it for adult?
For every ages,
Yeah,
like little ones, middle, for everyone.
right on. What is the thing that you right now know that you didn't know in the beginning that really changed your game?
To see others, how they play, how they use like the tactic on the same kind of point. Then you, in your own match, you see that situation and then you replicate it with that kind of tactic and technique. So for me, it was like see the pros that are right now here in the US, like the top 5, top 10, how they play without effort,
Yeah.
not too over exigent. So play like more simple. That's the main thing. If you see them, they play simple.
very much.
and they win.
They're almost nonchalant. So
Exactly,
they're
yeah.
not even running too fast. They're
Yeah.
doing whatever needed. They know exactly where to place themselves.
And
the game
always,
is running.
you don't need to hit it hard. You need to use the precision to put the ball in the side that it is. And that's it. And you win the point.
So you just move the ball to the other side, let them make mistakes.
Exactly.
That's
That's paddle,
That's a
basically.
technique, yeah. That's the right way to do it. So you don't have to work too hard. You just have to concentrate. Do you think that you concentrate more in paddle rather than tennis? Is the game more strategic?
Yeah. Because you have to and also with your partner, you need to be mainly focused on the strategy that you have. Because it all depends on which people do you have in front.
So you must learn the competitors very fast, like
Yeah.
who you're playing against.
Their advantage, all of that in the match. Because if you do it after, it's over. So you need to be mainly focused of how can we win right now. Because that's the important moment in the present.
If we will have this conversation 2 years from today, what are the topics that you want me to talk to you about? If you put yourself right now 2-3 years in the future, what's the conversation is going to be about? The World Cup, your last match, the Miami Open, what you're going to be talking about?
I will think so, yeah. The World Cup, if I can be in the national team, if I'm already in the Premier Paddle tournaments, that's one of my goals as well.
So Premier Paddle Leagues, that's
Yeah.
one of your goals. So Miami Premier Paddle League, like the P1 that just happened here
Exactly,
this
yeah.
month. Do you see yourself playing in 2 years? We're going to talk about how was the competition,
Yeah.
how was playing against Chingalan. With Chingalan still going to be a couple then? I don't know.
For sure, they're
Yeah.
gonna be.
They
Hopefully, I wanna play them against.
Yes, absolutely. But I think that doesn't have to wait for the Premier Paddle. There's going to be other opportunities that you'll be able to play against them.
Yeah.
I heard that the Ecuador doing a paddle festival, and they are
Oh,
coming
yeah.
and playing. Paddle is expanding all around the world right now. In the Middle East, paddle is taking a big spike right now. Europe and England is definitely where it's happening all the way. Sweden, I don't know if you ever plan on going to Sweden. There's so many clubs over there, and the
Yeah,
communities
everywhere.
keep getting bigger.
Right now, it's worldwide, basically.
Yep,
Everywhere you go, a paddle court.
yep, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Miami, actually, it seems like we're expanding, and there are so many clubs right here. We're not even in the beginning. I spoke with some professional from the industry that playing in Europe. They are coaching in Europe, and they say over there it's right now start getting to the point of hitting the potential. In Miami, we are so in the beginner, and I don't want to even talk about the US. The US is just in the baby beginners
Yeah.
steps right now. So there's a lot more room to grow. And I really wish for you to be able to reach that level very soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. What is your favorite club in Miami?
I will say Urban Paddle, that is on Doral.
Yeah.
Those courts, amazing. Because they have 12 indoor courts, and it's like a garage, but so huge.
Yeah.
So they have a good ceiling, they have the space to get out of the court. So I really like them.
Do you find yourself running out of the court in your
Yeah.
competition?
Yeah.
That's a skill you must have, and many of the clubs doesn't have this opportunity. You cannot go out and run.
Exactly. It
Because
depends
they are
on the
too
club.
Yeah. So Urban Paddle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and check them out next.
It's a good one.
Juan, thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks to you, man.
I'm very happy that you managed to come over here and we got to talk about this topic. Is anything else that you want to say and think before, share with us before we are leaving?
I will say for you that you're making this project, believe on the own things that you want to do or you want to create, make them fully, be on the present, and keep working every day.
I am, and when I'm talking with people like you, I'm getting more motivation, and I see how you passionate about it, and how much you want to be more and more involved in this sport and in this industry. It's giving me power to keep doing what I'm doing because you're young right now, and in 5 years from today, I think that you're going to definitely reach all of your goals. So you better start become creative and think farther of what you want to achieve next because you got the skills, you got the power, and I think you're going to make it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. And for all of you guys, keep believe, keep follow your dreams, listen to what this young man said, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one or on the court.